If you are surrounded by a lot of clutter, or maybe your parents are surrounded by clutter, then you might just want to watch this video so you can get that freedom. Hey friends, I'm Robyn. I help overwhelmed women declutter all of the excess in their lives so that they can start living them. Now, if you have clutter and seeing it stresses you out, maybe it's hard to move around or clean and you can't relax, then maybe you need to look into Swedish Death Cleaning. So grab your tea and let's go. Now, I know how it feels to be surrounded by clutter. We used to have stuff everywhere and we had to move it all around to clean until we declutter. Once we declutter, we not only found it easier to clean, but we could actually just live in our home. There's no added stress. It's actually calm and relaxing. It recharges us. And the freedom, it's amazing. Now, I do have parents who currently have a lot of clutter. Now, I love them, but the idea of going through their stuff after they die while grieving is not appealing. So when I first saw Catherine from Do It On a Dime's video a couple of years ago about Swedish death cleaning, it really got me thinking. Now, Swedish death cleaning is described by Margareta Magnusson in her book, Swedish Death Cleaning. And she describes celebrating the good and the bad times. You don't want to continue holding on to things forever, and you also do not want to pass it on to future generations. Now, I will get into sentimental items in just a minute, but first I want to talk about the 3 instincts that Margareta describes. Number 1 is the hoarding instinct, the collect and gather things for survival. Now, historically, humans have often lived in scarcity, and you would never think of decluttering, but that was before Amazon was delivering things weekly. The second thing is the clutter instinct, and it can really give a person a feeling of abundance and security. I have been in rooms where there is a lot of stuff and yet it feels tidy and organized. I think of my grandma's house. I wouldn't say there's like a ton of stuff, but she does have things around. It's very organized. It's very lovely, but I would say this is pretty rare. The third thing is the fear of death. Now, sentimental items that are hard to part with. My belief is you need to use or appreciate all of your belongings. And this really comes down to, like, if you think about your kids growing up, times of life passing that are hard, this is the fear of death. I mean, it's not necessarily the fear of death, but it's like things are going, it's sad. But you know, you have 1 or 2 precious things that you pick up and you have memories. I get that. And memories are powerful. But it can also be easier to hold on to things than to declutter them when you probably should. So here's a question you should ask yourself when you are decluttering. Will anyone be happier if I keep this? Now, I don't think anybody wants to pass the burden of clutter onto their family when they pass away. But what about yourself? You need to ask yourself that question first. Do you feel burdened holding on to things that you shouldn't? So I was just editing this video and I realized I should give you an example of something that I plan on keeping and something that I plan on decluttering, using the Swedish death cleaning idea and just overall. So this is a little dog, and I've had this since I was really little. Like, I remember being 4 and having this little dog, but it's got a chip in its ear, a chip in its foot, a chip in its rear end. It was actually in our garage for a while, for a long time, until I just brought it in when I decided, what am I going to do with this thing? Now, I haven't had this out for a long time. I don't really like having ornaments around for the most part. I have a few things, but this, it gives me a happy memory, but I don't need it. I don't want it. So using the Swedish death cleaning, you say, will anybody be happy if I keep this? My mom might be happy if I keep it, but I'm not keeping it because she's happy. I want to see if she's going to want it. So I'll ask her if she wants it, but she probably won't. What is she going to do with it? Have we been honoring it by keeping it in the garage? No. Now, an example of something that I am going to keep is this ring from my grandma. So it's beautiful. It's got like bamboo. It's kind of blurry, I'm sorry. And it's got she had my birthstone put in, which is really lovely. And it used to be hers, which is really special. And I love my grandma. So this ring always makes me think of my grandma. It makes me think about something special she did for me. I think she gave it to me when I was 18. And it doesn't take up a lot of space. It's tucked away. I wear it a couple of times a year, and I really like it. I'm not suggesting that you be super rigid. You can take things at your own pace, but I want you to remember life is short. And living in uncluttered spaces will actually bring you peace and help you enjoy your life much more. And I don't know if it's my job as an emergency nurse, but I strongly believe that home needs to recharge you. I'm going to give you some tips for how you can do that. Number 1, use your things. Display the things that you love. Put them out. Use your special dishes every day or most days. The second thing, with your babies and your kids, save some of those things. Have a special box so you can relive things, but don't keep everything. So this is an example of a box that I keep in my son's closet. So it has the outfit he wore when he came home from the hospital. Look how teeny he was. He was so small. He was like 6 pounds. He was my smallest baby by far. So there's that. A candy corn that is very cute. I don't know if I would keep all of these. You know, I could probably go through and declutter a few. I definitely would keep the turkey. I'm kind of a sucker for like any kind of turkey artwork. So I will definitely keep this. Yeah, so I will go through this at a later date. I just want to give you an example of a box. And this is the Coke from when the Olympics were in Vancouver. So that was really fun. I didn't get to go over there because I had a newborn at the time, which was this kid. But that's fun. And so he can decide what he's keeping with it. This is his keepsake. It's not mine. It's small. It fits in the box. And this little sweater is the same reason. So I don't know if all of that needs to be kept, but this is an example of just a small, like this is it for what I'm keeping for this kid so far. One of my decluttering coaching clients took her favorite of her baby's belongings and had them made into a blanket. I think that is really sweet. But what if you're finding it hard to declutter? Now, I want you to remember that happiness is a choice. And if you're choosing to live in clutter, you might be compromising your happiness. Now, recently I've been coaching my dad through decluttering some things. Now, my mom and dad separated 16 years ago, but memories do remain. And he describes remembering times at my grandparents' house, time with my cousin who passed away, and other family members. Now, I can understand how certain belongings can evoke memories, and that maybe there's a fear that without those particular things that memory might not be there. But I also want to suggest that it's probably hazardous to live in a cluttered present so that you can continue to live in the past. Not only is living in the past unhealthy, but you really are taking away a lot of the joy that you can feel in a calm and peaceful environment. I know it's hard. I know it is. But when you take the steps to death clean, meaning resolve the excess in your life so as not to pass on to descendants, but also, and most importantly, that you give more value to your time while you are here. Now, this is my minimalism playlist. I've got lots of videos about how you can declutter. This is a video that YouTube thinks you will like, and this is how you can subscribe so I can see you here next time. All right, I'll see you next time, friends. Bye. My cats are playing in the background.